All right, sit down, lie down, squat down, but I'm back. Belle Tellz. And again, with me again, Hootie.
What's going on?
You're not going to do It's Your Boy?
It's your boy. Well, I'm waiting for your segue. Can't wait to hear
Okay.
what you have to say about this, the second half of our trip.
Okay, so you were wanting me to kind of give a little bit of background about myself. So, a little bit of background about me. Grew up in the South. Grew up, going out to the farm. Grandparents had huge farms, still do. Did the rodeos in high school. So my
High school,
upbringing.
you still do it.
Well, I still do the rodeo, but I started going to the rodeos in high school, and I would go to the bull riding competitions and the practices and all that kind of stuff. Then, graduated high school, went on about my life. I started a family. My dad at that point became a politician. He is the mayor of the number 4 city in the United States to live in. After I don't know if I should talk about this. I guess I should. Yeah, I should, because I'm going to talk about this stuff later. Quit rolling your eyes.
It's social media. What do you think people don't know? I'm sure there's somebody out there that knows this stuff about you.
Well, I'm just saying, like, for instance, okay, so after my divorce, decided I was going to do the one regret I had, which was not having a college degree. So as a single mom of 4 babies, I went to school school at night, worked during the day. Took me 4 years to get my 2-year degree because I couldn't work full-time and go to school full-time. So did all that. Now I'm a paralegal, work in civil litigation. I honestly, of course you know this, but they don't, have a passion for criminal law and doing prison reform.
It's not for me to know.
Huh?
You're not telling me the story. It's for everybody else.
I know. So really wanted to get into prison reform because the more I dug into my criminology class, I found that, prison was supposed to be a reformed so people would stop committing crimes. The more I studied about it, learning the psychology and the sociology behind it, we're institutionalizing people. We're not really reforming. We're just institutionalizing. So I had spoken to our top criminal defense attorney in the state while I was still in school. He gave me a couple different scenarios, and basically, because I paused, he said, don't do criminal law. You have to be able to do it from a non-emotional standpoint, and you need to pick a field that your emotions won't get involved. So civil lit was the best option. That's nothing but paperwork. So fast forward to 2020, when what actually kicked everything off for me, which was that horrific date I went on where that dude was sticking his finger in the sauce and just grossed me out. So
what is that? I'm not even, that one blew right by me.
The very first, that was the first one you ever saw, which was on Instagram.
Oh, yeah, okay. I thought you said that the world. I thought you was about the world. Good.
No. That was the one where he stuck his finger in sauce, was yelling at me at the restaurant. And I was like, this dude. So
I thought you said it was something you seen on the news.
No, nothing about that. So anyways, like we were saying last time, you and I both started this whole journey off as just doing the podcasting. Friendship developed. Eventually, we decided to meet. So let's get to the trip. I'm going to give my version, my take of what I saw, what I experienced. So I remember being flustered and frustrated by the time you got here. You had missed 2 planes. And I remember the first one you missed, and I was like, oh, how is that even possible? But you missed it.
Was I checked in already? Is that when my bag
No,
was
that wasn't one you got checked in at. Plane had taken off by the time you got there.
That was that one? I don't remember missing 3.
No. You missed 2. The first one you got stuck in traffic.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And I remember fussing at you and saying, this is why we leave early. This is why we get, but it's neither here nor there. Second plane. You said, I'm on my way. I'm at the airport. I'm getting checked in. I was like, cool. We're good to go. So I can't remember. I had gone out to go grab something or do something. I get a phone call. You missed it. And that was the one I was like, how is that even possible?
Let's see. You skip a lot of stuff. No. I text you. I'm checked in.
Okay.
There's no way I can miss it. But I never went to the gate. I went to a nice restaurant that I liked. That was outside the gate. And
inside the airport or outside the airport?
Yeah, inside the airport. But you have to go to the gate after you check your bag.
Got you.
Yeah. Then when I got done eating, I went to my plane. At the time it was supposed to take off, and it left 15 minutes early because they boarded everybody but one passenger, me.
That was the one that your luggage was on the way here.
Second one. That was the second one.
So knowing you, I was like, that's a wrap. That's done. Like, he's going to pack it up and be done. Like, he's going to get flustered. He's going to say, forget it. They can have the luggage, donate it, whatever they want to do. I'm out. So never thought you were coming. So the next day, I'm on my way to horse shop, and I get this selfie of you in the plane. And that was when I was like, he's really on his way here. So I was in a little disbelief, but it is because I didn't think you were coming. Like you just.
But I went because I never told you that I stood there and took the red eye out, flew into Dallas, and then flew out to you.
But you get so flustered with stuff, and as we established last time, the patients are non-existent.
But I was already at the airport for the second time, and LaGuardia is worse than JFK, so it was a mess.
So I was like, all right, well, I remember saying to you, Aunt, I'm in sweats. And you were like, okay. I said, no.
I don't even remember that part. I was so
I do, because I remember saying, no, I got chicken eyes. You're going to see my chicken eyes. And you were like, what are you talking about? And I said, chicken eyes. So I had to explain to you what that was. And you were like, well, I don't care. We're taking off right now. Just be at the airport. And I was like, well, okay. So turn around, get to the airport. In which it never occurred to me to pull up to get you.
Especially when the airport's next to a farm. There's parking everywhere.
So I didn't think about it. So I go inside and I'm waiting. See you come down. I'm like, and I remember when we first, I didn't know what to do. When I first saw you, I was like, why do you keep rolling your eyes? That is such a bad habit. And so I didn't know. Do we shake hands? Do we high five? Do we embrace? Do we fist pump? I just, all these thoughts were going through my mind, and I'm like, what do I do? So we get your luggage. We're on the way out the door.
And the luggage is just sitting in the middle of an airport, by the way, for 24 hours.
Well, it wasn't in the middle of the airport. It was in the middle of the airport.
No, it wasn't. It was once we made the left off the escalator. It was right there. They never took it in.
I thought that was a lost and found.
No, everything's in one spot. There's nothing in the airport.
Oh, okay.
It's the lost and found. It's boarding.
It's all the above. Got it.
Yeah.
So we're walking out
Rogers Airport.
So we're walking out. You're carrying your stuff, and we're going. And you're like, Belle, where'd you park? I said, oh, down here? You said, where's down here? And I said, I thought it was E. I guess it was J or K. That's when you said
it wound up being Z. Yeah, I said you parked in JFK.
It was the last parking lot of all of them. So
it was the last parking lot.
And you go,
and you don't remember you told me to dress for the weather, that it's cold. And then you said a warm front. So I had a goose down North Face vest on, a thermal, jeans, Timbs.
Well, I was chilly.
And it's 65 degrees out and sunny. Sweating balls walking through this parking lot. Frustrated.
You were frustrated. And so you're coming through. And I was like, oh, it's on down here. We got to keep going. And you looked at me and you were like, Belle, do you remember where you parked the car? And I said, yeah, it's way down here. We got to keep going. I said, it's all right. We're getting our cardio. And you said, cardio? And you said, do you see how I'm dressed? I'm sweating. I said, well, just keep on coming. Come on. It's good for us. So we get in the car. And I remember you saying to me, you're nervous. And I said, well, yeah, because it threw me off. I'm a planner. Everything has to go according to plan. Doesn't go according to plan, I get a little flustered. So I was thrown. I was completely thrown. That was when we get out of the parking lot. We see the guy that got offended with the stewardess. And so we get on the interstate, which, for argument's sake, I felt like he was too close to my car. The guy you were telling me about that I yelled at.
Our car's the size of a Prius.
It's a little bigger.
Nobody could ever be close to your car.
Well, he was. He was, and he was all looking in, and I was like, mind your business. It upset me. So I remember we go to the first restaurant while we're doing the house tour. And we go to the first. What? So we got the first restaurant, and that you were like,
why don't you then, if you're going to bring up the house tour, talk about the last house you want to take me to? It's pitch dark out now, and there's no such thing as streetlights in Arkansas.
No, we don't have
see a house that's 400 feet away in the pitch dark. You're like, oh, we can go now. I see nothing. You got me.
Whatever, oh wait, no, you're talking about after we eat. I'm not even there yet.
No. I'm talking about before. We went to 2 and you had one more to show me, and it was pitch dark out by that time.
Oh yeah, I did.
It was only when we went to go eat. There was only an hour left to get seats because you were house sitting. I don't know what you want to call it. House watching.
No, I was house showing, but. First restaurant that I really wanted to go to, it's like an hour and a half wait. You were like, all right, that's it. So we go to the next one. They close at 8. And I remember thinking, well, in my mind, I'm thinking it's 7:30. And I'm thinking, but if we get in there before 8 o'clock, they have to serve us. And you were like, no. We're going somewhere else. We're not doing this. No way.
What happened to the part at 7:30? You wanted to go home and get changed to eat at 8.
No. Rewind. Because rewind. Because that's not completely. No, I didn't want to go home and get changed. If we were going to go to the other restaurant, I wanted to grab a change of clothes.
That's getting changed. That's called getting changed.
I was just going to grab it, and you were like, so wait a minute. You're going to grab the clothes. We're going to go all the way back to this Airbnb.
It'll be 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, and then everything's going to be closed. You were like, no, we're just going to do it.
But I said, mind you wanted to eat in an Italian restaurant that they were walking around with deer hats on and shit-kicking sneakers, and they acted like they had an Italian name. I guess nobody in Arkansas is Italian because it wasn't an Italian name. They just put Ina after pasta and told everybody it was an Italian joint. That was the weirdest shit ever. And that's the only Italian restaurant in town.
No. Well, in that town, there's a couple more, and another town.
That town. Only restaurant in that town.
That town. So,
mind you, the line was out the door, and they only had a half hour left. There was only a half hour left for seating.
And let me clarify: they were dressed in ball caps because it's a bunch of cowboys and farmers.
Right, but you wanted to go, but you thought you had to go home and get changed.
Yeah. Well, okay, I know. And you said no, you're fine. You don't need to go home and get changed. They're not dressed up. Because, that's what it was. It wasn't I was going to go home and get changed. I said, if we eat here, I have to go home and get changed. And I said, and you were like, no, you don't.
You wanted to go home and get changed at 7:30.
Okay, well.
After house seeing in the dark.
Okay. We'll agree to disagree.
I'm agreeing to disagree.
So, we finally settle on just a chain restaurant. And I remember you sitting down and going, you kept moving. And I said, what are you doing? And you said, it's sticky. There is honey.
It was filthy. It was sticky. It was everything.
You said there's honey all over the seat, all over the table, all over my phone. You said,
I put my phone down in honey.
Yes. And you said, I think there's somebody's kid that was sitting here. Check your phone. Check. I said, no, my side's clean. The parent must have been sitting on this side. I said, I'm good.
That's what I get. That's what I get for sitting with my back to the door.
So anyway, so we eat. We're leaving. So we're headed out to there. What I thought was an Airbnb. Okay. Let's establish that. And this is probably my favorite part of the story. We're on our way out, and I'm talking to you, and I remember a couple times you going, Belle, look at the road. Don't look at me, look at the road. You keep
worst driver ever.
You keep looking at me. And I said, it's okay, I got this. And so I just
let's not talk about how we're in a compact car the size of a Prius. You can't stop looking over at me while you're driving, and you got to have your pocketbook on top of you. So we're like this. This is insane. Okay,
well, you act like I was just admiring the beauty. I was talking to you.
You were admiring the beauty. Let's not get it twisted.
So
you couldn't believe that I was sitting next to you.
So
that I showed up.
Well, yeah. I mean, now that is 100% the truth. I didn't think you were coming. You get flustered. That's it. You're done. You're out. You'll shut down.
I wasn't flustered. That's a terrible word to use. I don't ever get flustered. You never look flushed in my face. I get aggravated, and it's done.
Okay.
Flustered's a terrible word to use.
Okay. Well, I like flustered better than
aggravated.
Yeah.
But I was already on my way to Dallas, and then it was but that's where I finally got on a plane where there was only one. There was 2 rows of seats on one side, and then only 1 row of seats on the other. I think it sat 74, 70. It was a war. Couldn't believe it. If they would have told me that, you're right. That would have been over. I said, that's it. Coming back, praying to God, whatever God was up there. I ain't never flying again. Just help make this plane land. Oh my God. I feel like it was in a go-kart in the air. That's what I get flying out of those fucking.
That's what you get for not being on time. That's what that's called, being on time.
I kind of think the first time I was supposed to come and we could get back to was flying out of JFK. I missed 3 planes. I missed the one out of JFK, and then had to go over to LaGuardia, and I missed the next 2.
What?
No, I missed 3 of them, and that's why I took the red eye to Dallas and then flew over to Arkansas.
But how do you miss 3 planes? 3 planes.
JFK I just bagged. I slept late because I knew how close I was. And then LaGuardia was just a pain in the ass in traffic.
All right. So anyways, we're headed to the Airbnb. And at one point I realized I missed the turnoff. And
you missed the road, the driveway to get into the B&B. You went right by it.
So I said,
you were trying to find a local address because it was just cornfields.
So I said, whoops, I missed it. And I saw the first driveway on the right. And that's when I whipped in as quickly as I could. And you looked at me just kind of like this look of
like
shock.
On a roller coaster?
No, you just said, and you look, I just remember the look of shock. And I was like, what's wrong? And you said, you could have wrecked. I said, I don't know, I got this. So I said, all right, here we go. So I threw the car in reverse and I punched the gas. And this is the part that I think is the funniest.
Why don't you talk about how for a half hour, not one car came down that road until you decided to back up, and then it took you a half hour.
Yeah, it was dead. I mean, it was dead. Traffic was dead on that road. And then, so I throw the car in reverse, punch the gas, and I remember you yelling, look out!
You decided to go when the only car started to come down that road.
And no, I'm not even coming out yet. I'm talking about throwing it in reverse to back up, to straighten up, to go out.
No, you were out.
No.
You were in the road.
No. I pulled off in a driveway, threw it in reverse.
It was a farm. There was no roads. How crazy are you?
There was.
You were looking for GPS coordinations.
Yes.
Because there wasn't an address.
Right.
So what do you think you pulled into? There wasn't a road. There wasn't a driveway.
I remember it being a driveway.
No.
Well,
that's why when you slapped it in reverse, I thought we were going to hit the cement block that was behind us.
I don't remember a cement block, and I do remember you saying,
that was great.
You looked at me and you go, yeah, look out. And I said, oh, we weren't going to hit nothing, be a deer or a dog. It's no big deal. And
well, because the back windshield don't have headlights, so it's pitch black. I don't know what you're looking at to back up. You just put it in reverse. You didn't even look.
I just looked at my camera. I can understand
you had your fogs on. That camera didn't work.
So
it was black. You couldn't see nothing.
So this point, I'm getting ready to pull out oncoming traffic. This is when we've got two strings of traffic coming from both ways.
The road was dead for a half hour, not one car.
I know. And then you put your arm up. You said, don't go. I'll tell you when to go. And I said, God. And I looked at you and I said, what? So what's wrong with you? What do you think I can't drive? You looked at me. Stone cold. No smile. Just straight. Looked at me, stone cold, no crack. And I said, when I asked you, what do you think I can't drive? And you said, do you? You have to be one of the worst drivers I've ever ridden with. And I said, oh, no, I'm a good driver. And you said, horrible.
Horrible. I don't know. I was so aggravated from the 70-person plane that I never let a woman drive. And I don't know what I was thinking. You know what it was? We were next to a farm, a cornfield. I actually wanted to rent a car. I didn't even know there was a rent-a-car place in this area. Oh, it was just a mess.
So
Razorback fans everywhere.
So then you said, all right, let's go. And I said, well, okay then. And I hit the gas. And you said, Belle, you don't have to punch that gas all the time. Oh, I said, God. This is how I drive.
Seasick, you get me.
Huh?
You get me seasick in a car.
You did say that. You said this is, so we're driving along. And I said, oh, here it is. Whipped in real quick because I about missed it a second time. So we get to the place. I'm like, well, we're here. You said, thank God, get me out of this car. So I remember walking up to the place and you were like, where is it? And I said, we got to go all the way down here. And I could tell right away you were a little like, where is she taking me? And so we get to the bottom of the stairs and I go.
I've never seen a house set up like this in my life.
So I go skipping across the rocks. Like
we went from road to rocks to grass to dirt.
So
this is where this place was.
So I look back and you're still standing and you're like, Belle, I don't know about this.
Yeah, that's why.
I said, what do you mean? We're here. Come on. You said there's nothing but woods. We are isolated. And I was like, what do you want me to do?
And then you had Buffalo Bill above us. The only guy probably in the whole town was, I guess, renting out the place above us. This place was just, he had the lights on, music on, probably wearing some girl's dress, wearing some guy's face.
Stop.
Some serial killer.
Stop. Yeah, you were a little like,
this place was whacked out.
So we get inside and I could just tell you were not comfortable. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to do. We're here. And you were like, all right, I tell you what, let me just get freshened up. Let me go shower. I've had a rough trip. I was like, well, okay then. So I'm just doing my thing and you're telling me we're going to record. And I was like, I'm not ready. I don't have anything done. Nothing is put together. And he says, all right, we'll do it. Let's just do it. So
yeah, but that was way afterwards because then we did the recording, Hot Springs. That was what was when I showered and shaved and got cleaned up as soon as we got in there.
Right.
I started breaking out of my face. There was no recording going on yet. That was later in the trip. Then is when I started smelling.
See, you didn't say nothing to me.
But my whole face broke out.
I didn't even see it till the next morning. You picked up on it right away. Like you had that one spot. I didn't even see it till the next morning.
No, it was all over here. It was all down my face.
I know.
I didn't realize it till after I shaved. And then when I shaved, I'm like, what the fuck? As soon as we walked in there. And I'm not allergic to any animals.
Right. I remember you saying that. And so I was kind of nervous wreck. And as you know, when I'm nervous, I get the giggles real, real bad. And the more I try to control it.
I think you just laughed at, you were laughing at the craziest shit that night.
I was beyond nervous because my whole feng shui was out of whack. Like, and the more I tried to get it under control, the worse it got. And I just couldn't get it under control. My nerves were just all over the place. So I do remember as we were recording, at one point you said, you made the comment of your eyes were starting to bother you. Little did I know, I think that's when the allergies were starting to get really bad.
It wasn't allergies.
Then what was it?
Whatever that wild cat brought in.
But that was when you started noticing,
it wasn't allergies. Something.
That's called allergies.
Something was poisonous out there. No, I don't have allergies. I live in New York. Pollen is everywhere. I don't have allergies. Something was brought into that. It was we were in the wild, and then this guy had wild cats, but dogs he didn't let out. That all of a sudden, whoever owned it, because then we heard the dogs, then we heard the cat scratching, then the cat came in the morning and was knocking on the door to let him in. And
it was.
How do you rent the place out without telling people? By the way, if cat allergies, realize I have a wild cat, or if you're allergic to cats, I have dogs. They had everything, and they never said they had anything. It was all right. Now imagine some people with cat allergies would have suffocated in their sleep. That whole place was whacked out. I didn't take no clothes back. I threw everything out. I was smelling cats for not catnip for a week. I was smelling cat spray. Whatever that, when cats aren't neutered, that spray, I was smelling it for a week. And then these big cats were knocking on the door all morning. They were the size of bobcats. They probably ate tires for lunch. Like, this place was whacked out. But wait, what about the next day when we're driving to do the hot springs thing, and I see there's motels in your area, and I'm like, I thought because you lived in the boondocks, there was no hotels. It was only
this
B&Bs.
ain't the boondocks, as you saw.
It's pretty much the boondocks.
It is not.
We happen to go to the financial district.
Yes, but it's not the boondocks.
Thing.
So
we were in the boondocks.
Oh my Lord! I could show you boondocks. That wasn't boondocks.
You don't have to show me. I've been all over. That was the boonies.
We
were out in the fucking woods with Buffalo Bill.
And
I was upstairs wearing a woman's dress with somebody else's face on.
Oh my God, please. So I do remember a couple times you getting up.
I kept going by the door where we eventually heard the cat scratching. I knew there
was
something behind
you said
it stunk like
there's a litter box in here. I'm telling you,
it was something.
There's something in here, and I was like, "Oh, he is serious about this." And I remember I felt kind of bad because the next morning when you got up, I had gotten overheated that night, and I turned the heater off. And I got up. You had the hoodie on. You'd put your pants on. You had socks on, and you were. I remember. And you said, "Do you mind turning the heat on?"
Fucking middle of the woods.
And I said, "I'm burning up. I was burning up." And you were like, "No, no." So we leave. I remember leaving.
Well, what about then? We heard the dogs. Then we heard the cats. We knew where everything was coming from. He had wild cats.
That cat was big. I do. It was like.
Yeah, but it was a wild cat. It lived in the woods and only came in the house in the morning. It was telling us to get the fuck out. It was knocking on the glass.
It was.
And then we heard the cats behind the other door. And I said, I knew there was a cat litter behind there. The cat said he didn't let out. Fucking place was a fucking mess with fucking animals.
I didn't know about the cat.
They had a zillion. Oh, when I said where the catnip was, I kept smelling it in that door that was locked. In the kitchen. Oh,
see, I didn't know that there was another one. I thought they only had one.
No, they had a couple of them. The wild ones, they must have brought something in because the cat hair was on the couch. That didn't bother me. But then I knew that the wild cats were staying in the house because the next morning they're knocking on the glass telling us to let them in.
Screeching.
I thought it was Buffalo Bill.
You and Buffalo Bill.
That guy was whacked out upstairs.
Oh, poor Buffalo Bill.
The light, because they had another door going up to the other place that they were renting, and he would shut his hallway light off, and our hallway light would go on and off. Oh, what a whacked out trip.
So
it took me 2 weeks to recover from Arkansas. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. Sorry.
People recover from COVID faster.
I don't know about that. It took me a while, COVID. So I remember us getting out. And that morning, the only thing I do remember that morning was you were like, I got to go get some ibuprofen or something. So we went to CVS and I got you.
No, Benadryl.
I know. And I remember that girl being so, do you remember her, the checkout? Oh my God. She's being so nervous. She kept, I'm sorry, sir.
I kept telling her, just keep the change then. Like, just give me the Benadryl. She was so nervous.
Yes. And I had to step up and I said, it's okay. You're fine. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I was like,
I don't know why she was so nervous.
I don't know either. I think it was just a kid, like a high school kid. She's afraid she'd mess up. So that was kind of.
Was it my accent? Nobody talks like me in August. I didn't say anything. I said, thank you. Oh, you know what it is? I asked for a couple of things that they didn't have. She's like,
maybe that was it.
No, we don't have that. No, we don't have that. I'm like, just give me the Benadryl. I got to go.
That may have been it. And that was, that's pretty much the end of the trip.
That was the end. And no, then I lost my neck warmer and I had no mask.
Oh, yeah.
So nobody had a mask. I needed a mask to get back on the plane. The neck warmer was left in the driveway by Buffalo Bill's house.
That's right.
I had to find
I totally forgot about that.
It wasn't over yet. Then we went through the town. Then we had time to eat. It was crazy.
So, but that is my.
That was the gist.
Huh?
That was the gist of it.
Yeah, but that was like what I remember about the trip.
All that jazz. A lot more.
There was a lot more.
I said, I remember a lot more. You got selective memory.
I wouldn't say I have selective memory. I just remember it differently. But that's pretty much it. That was
Arkansas is, besides Hot Springs, Rogers is tough. But I never told you this. When I got to the airport, I had 2 hours or an hour and a half at the end of the trip now. And anytime I go to the South, I'm a big pulled pork guy. So I never got to go get any pulled pork because we ate at a terrible place. The chicken had veins in it. I thought it was old school McDonald's chicken McNuggets. That's how bad the chicken used to be in McDonald's. Awful. Then the honey ruined everything. There was honey everywhere. People must have they don't even watch their kids in that place. It was insane. So I go past the airport is the nicest airport they have there, but it's still terrible. So it's all fast food. I wouldn't want to eat fast food, especially when I travel. So I come past this nice bar and grill. And on the menu for the day is their seasoned pulled pork. I said, this is great. The guy that sits me is fighting with the waiter. They're understaffed. Now, everybody in Arkansas was great from the beginning of my trip to the end of my trip. Southern hospitality. Everybody's hello. Everybody's very polite. This was the worst staff I've ever seen in my life. The older waiter's fighting with the younger waiter. I get the waiter that's 450 pounds. It's 55 degrees. He's sweating like an animal in a short sleeve shirt. Aggravated. Threw my Coke down. He was having a bad day. Worst. Even on a good day, they probably were terrible. And then Arkansas disappointed with pulled pork. I've eaten pulled pork throughout all the Deep South. It had no flavor. It's like they just took the pork, pulled it apart, threw it on my plate.
Can I remind you, it was at an airport? It wasn't at a legit...
but this was a nice bar and grill. It was outside. It was connected to the airport. It wasn't in the airport.
Okay, well, I wouldn't count that as...
Horrible. And then getting on a 70-person plane was even worse. Oh, the baked beans taste like they came out of a can, and I specifically asked them. I said, I do not want canned beans. This is the South. No, fresh beans. My ass. So, rotten for the pulled pork in the Deep South Arkansas.
Well, that I wouldn't. The restaurant that
I don't want to hear it. Boom. So you get.
Okay. Well, it was in the airport. Okay.
Collard greens were good.
Well, there you go.
That was surprising.
You're so nice, and we are so glad you enjoyed it.
That was so nice. I was.
We're so glad you enjoyed our state. Well,
no, I didn't enjoy the state. Everybody was nice.
That was sarcasm.
We can't tell with your accent if it's sarcasm or not. I say that all the time.
This is true too.
But it was a good trip overall.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that. After all the disappointments that were upon you. I'm so glad that it was a good trip in the end. My God, I just don't know what else to say.
That's why we're not putting your channel on a comedy network.
Why?
Delivery's terrible. That was sarcasm, right? I was supposed to catch that?
Anything else you'd like to
critique? A lot.
Throw out there, Mr. Hootie? Go right on ahead.
Mr. Hootie. Well, thank you, Arkansas. Everybody was great until I got to the airport at the end of the trip. Everybody was. They were well mannered, very nice.
Matter of fact, a couple things I wanted to say that I did think that just jogged my memory. You had said about we were the top 5, top 10 of facilities. And so I wanted to see, I was like, how many facilities we have? Here, I thought this whole time we had no more than 8. We have 20.
Usually in the top 5.
Yeah, we have 20.
St. Louis and New York.
No, we beat New York.
We got a lot more than 20, Belle.
Well,
New York State.
They have
Usually like fifth.
It might be per capita. That may have been what I was.
Whatever it is, we're talking about the state of Arkansas. You might have just been talking about your area.
No, we've got 20. Are you sure? Because we've got 20. Missouri's got 21. Texas, I can't remember. But the state that shocked me that's number one in the United States that I found, and maybe they just pulled up southern states, I don't know, I thought it was all over the U.S., is Louisiana. They have 111 facilities.
You have a lot in Louisiana.
Oodles of them. And then that, and then I remember that one of the things that I was asked after we did the part 1 was, he never knew you had a temper. And I said, never. I've never gotten angry. I've never got to the point where I've lost it.
When did you lose it? I didn't see your temper on that strip.
With the road rage.
Oh yeah, but that wasn't temper. That was your road rage.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah.
And
but
then,
you weren't like that when you got out of the car. It wasn't like somebody you knew, like a waitress or somebody that you flipped out on.
Oh gosh, no! I would not ever do that.
Yeah.
No, I'd be more kosher about that.
No.
And then the other thing that was brought up was he really surprised at how polite people are? That's a little bit.
Very.
A little bit. Yeah.
The Deep South don't like a Yankee. I was getting murder ones at the Dallas airport.
Well, I mean, like you'd commented about the girl at the mall. About how well mannered.
Oh yeah, but the second mall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God, she was a manager, and she's at no more than a sophomore in high school. Very well mannered.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
That was those were the comments I got. Just, did he not know? And I'm like, I guess not. But no, I mean, that's just kind of how we try and raise.
I've been to all the southern states. They're not as nice as they were there that day. I might have just caught you on a good day. I don't know if they're really that nice. I'd have to try the second time.
Oh, we are that nice all the time. All the time.
Sweetheart. She went above and beyond to help me.
She was good.
That was when we missed the sports car store because they were closed.
The what?
We were going in there to see the sports card store first.
Yeah. And then we went
That's why we went to the other place first, and then we went back there. We were going to go there anyway, but it was too late. They were closed, and then we went in there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, she was a sweetheart.
She was very well-mannered child. Very well. So, that's it. Part 2.
Hootie and Belle.
All right. I'm going to close it out. I'm going to do my little thing.
Stay up.
You do your stay up. I'm going to do mine, which is please and thank yous are a must. Smile never hurt no one. Be cognizant of the things you say and how you say them, because kindness is priceless. Y'all have a good week and enjoy. Bye-bye.